Hello, everyone, and welcome to Symphony of Disorder. I'm Dante Suave, and this is my guest, Andrew Boss of Andrew W. Boss. So, as you can see, he's rocking Head PE. I'm a big fan of them. I saw them about a month or so ago. Man, totally awesome guys. Definitely always cool to hang out with after a show. Um, but so uh, so how's it going?
Going good.
All right, cool. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to do this. Last time I was able to see you guys was with Head PE at Peacocks in Erlanger. So it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah.
So where are you at? You're in where? You're Florence?
Yeah, I live in Florence right now. I'm at school in Cincinnati, Ohio, but I live in Florence, Kentucky. So
Okay.
so yeah, with that, we'll get started. So tell us about yourself and how you got started.
Well, I'm just a kid from Salt Lake who is obsessed with music. And I've just been into music ever since I was a little kid. My mom put a saxophone in my hand and I learned how to play classical music and I learned how to play in an orchestra. And then I got into, all the other types of music growing up. I got into Tupac, I got into Corn and Mudvayne and a lot of Dr. Dre, a lot of West Coast rap. I really like the West Coast rap stuff. And I just like that aggressive kind of vibe and I think you can see that in my music, but that's pretty much where it all came from. Just growing up in Salt Lake and just being just into music and entertainment and concerts. I really like going to concerts. So putting on a concert is really fun for me and the boys, and I get to tour with my brothers, so that's a plus.
Gotcha. Was it difficult getting started?
Yeah, yeah. It took a while before I figured out what the fuck I was doing. Um, it wasn't easy. It took a
Gotcha,
while. I
gotcha.
started this project in 2016, and that's when all of this kind of got started.
Gotcha. What were some of the difficulties? Was it the because I noticed you do the rap rock metal. Was that part of what the issue was?
I just didn't know what I wanted to do really. Like, did I want to do rap? Did I want to do hip hop? Did I want to do metal? What can I do by myself if nobody's with me?
I
A
got
lot
you.
of things like that kind of come into play. But really, what it comes down to is I like playing the music that I play, and I like writing the music that I write, and so I kind of stuck with that. And I just felt like if I didn't express myself genuinely, then the escape that I needed as a writer, like um mentally and spiritually, it just wasn't gonna it just wasn't gonna be good for me. I'd be running around singing songs that I hated, I didn't like, I didn't believe in, and I just knew that that wasn't gonna work for me. So at, at that point, I had to make a decision on what kind of a band I was gonna have, what kind of music I was gonna do, and the parameters of how I was gonna conduct all of those things.
Do you have any like funny stories or funny experiences or like negative experiences that um were there any negative experiences that made you think like maybe I really want to do this, or were there some like totally hilarious experiences that just that you'll never forget, you know, ever?
Well, there's been a lot now. I mean, we've been touring since 2017, and we've got to tour and play with a lot of our bands that we've looked up to. A lot, you know. I think probably one of the funniest moments on tour with Head PE, we had my drummer. We were playing in Phoenix, Arizona, where my drummer lives. My drummer Corey.
Mm-hmm.
It's for another band. But we went to his house and we made um some marijuana gummies. So we made these like 300 milligram gummies. But Corey had these little pans that make little dick gummies. So they're little dicks. And so we made like a couple pans of those and then we put them in a bag and I went and I gave them to Jared on the tour bus. And so I literally gave Jared a bag of dicks and they were all like marijuana gummies. So we played our show later that day and he came out on stage and he had the bag of gummies and he was just eating them, just fucking downing them. And then he started giving them out to everybody in the front row and like giving them to everybody. And so by like the third song, all the gummies were gone and it was just like, all right, well, here's a fucking party tonight. So
Right.
that was, that was pretty funny. Jared's cool like that. And I always love touring with them. So we've had a lot of cool experiences. We've had a lot of fun experiences on tour with Twisted and Saliva. Saliva, Bobby from Saliva likes to give us a little bit of crap when we're on tour with them. And he's a cool dude. I got a lot of respect for Bobby. Um, so yeah, I think along the way you just have a lot of different experiences. I've never really thought at any moment like this isn't the kind of music I want to do.
Gotcha, 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 gotcha. Um, how far would you like to take the band if you could? Like how big would you like to get?
Um, I don't really. I'm not. I just want to take care of my family making music, man. That's pretty much, you know, as long as I can take care of my family and then do what I like to do, then I'm good. I'm not really trying to be super famous or any of that bullshit.
I gotcha, 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 gotcha. Yeah, yeah, because I guess that could get dicey, especially when you're walking out in public with your family and everything, and you
Yeah.
know, so I could see that. Um, could you go a little more into like who inspired you? Because I know, because I know you said West Coast, but like, were there like specific rappers or specific like metal bands that like inspired you?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of inspiration from all over really that I really like pretty much everything that Dr. Dre does. All of
Hmm.
his covers that he's put out, um, all the way down to J Rock and Kendrick and all the way back from Nate Dogg and Snoop and like all the stuff from the 80s. So pretty much everything Dre is into, I'm usually into. Um, as far as metal and like rap metal bands, like I started getting into Snot and Head PE and Limp Bizkit and a lot of bands like that early on. I got into Saliva, Linkin Park, Mudvayne. Really, Mudvayne was a big influence on me. Korn, obviously. Um, a lot of bands like that. There's also a lot of bands right now that are really good that kind of make me keep trying to make a better album. And some bands that aren't, you know, really big right now, but I kind of consider like some of the best bands in the game. Like if as far as rap metal's concerned, you probably have you got Dead Eyes, which is really good. Hyro the Hero, Dropout Kings from AZ. Got 5 by 5 out in Ohio.
I've met them. I've met them, and I've met Dropout Kings.
Yep, Adam and Eddie and the boys from Dropout Kings are super cool.
Yeah,
Um, Head PE obviously is still out there touring. Saliva. There's also a band called Redefined. There's a band called Lilac. Both of them are from the East Coast. Do rap metal. Um, I really love Hyro the Hero. Hyro makes my type of shit. Real aggressive, rap metal shit. I really like that stuff. So
I've heard
those are
him on a couple of things, but I kind of my music's all over the place, so I kind of forgot to like actually go to Spotify and like actually go through his music to like really listen to him, because I had this anime on Netflix called Arcane, and the song Enemies, uh the people that made that, he also made a song with a different song with them that I listened to, and he sounded really good. And somebody else told me that I really needed to listen to him, and I just now remembered that I hadn't gotten around to it until you said his name. So I'm definitely gonna have to jump on there probably tomorrow and like check him out.
yeah. Yeah, Hyro the Hero is really good shit if you like the aggressive rage. It's like Rage Against the Machine on steroids. It's like Hyro the Hero. It's very aggressive. And I like that shit. And I like performing aggressively and being on stage and jumping around all crazy. And a lot of these bands we've toured with and played with, and they're really good live shows. And so I really enjoy doing the rap metal, and I get inspiration from you know all these bands that I've met and people I've been listening to since 1998. Before that. So I like all kinds of music from Frank Sinatra to Garth Brooks to Mudvayne to Dr. Dre. I'm just kind of, you know, if it's good, I like it.
Yeah. I totally agree on that. I've also learned to compartmentalize, because there's like certain things that I like, but like if you want to talk about good music, I probably won't mention it. Like I like I'm more of a beat person when it comes to Rick Ross. He does have certain songs where I hear him drop a lyric and I go, "Oh, that was actually kind of good," but for the most part, it's beats, and I use a lot of his music. Like I make like a running playlist for when I go running, which I haven't done in a while, which I need to do here soon once I get my schedule together. But anyway, but yeah, that I've learned to compartmentalize, and like everybody has a spot. Like I listen to Screamo. I like more of the ones that I understand what they're saying, but even the ones that I don't understand what they're saying, if I'm just having a bad day and I just want to rage, I can listen to that and be cool because I'm not really thinking about lyrics. I'm just getting lost
Yeah,
in the noise in a sense. So, but so yeah, and I feel like that's made me like a better I've better been able to like not only get into like more music, but it's helped me to respect musicians and like what they're trying to do more. So, because like I would definitely admit when I saw you guys and you guys first started like your first song, I was like, whoa, this is a lot. My brain was like trying to process it all, but then like the more I listened to it, I'm like, okay, they're cool. And then you guys were all vibing and getting the crowd into it, and and getting the crowd into it and everybody jumping around. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is fun. And I'm a lyrics person, so even though it was kind of on the metal of the rage side, I was still able to understand the lyrics and get into the lyrics. I'm like, okay, all right, these guys are cool. Turned around, bought a shirt, and it's like, all right, yeah, I'm down. Um, and I know it's been a long time because I asked you guys back then, like, hey, I'm wanting to do a podcast. Whenever I'm able to get it started, can I interview you guys? And you told me back then, it's like, yeah, man, just get it up and hit us up. And so I definitely appreciate it. Took longer than I wanted, but hey, we're here. So uh
look, you made
so
it.
I know, right? So what okay, so what should listeners know about you that they may not necessarily hear in your music?
Oh, um, man, I don't know. I pretty much I mean, if you go through my catalog, you're gonna get most of me, really, because there, there's not much in there that's missing. If
Okay.
you listen to the songs and a lot of the stuff, I talk about a lot of my drug addiction and different things in my songs. And then we have a lot of fuck off songs too, like Mosh Pit and Wreck Place, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe just listening to the music, you probably wouldn't know that me and John and Adam are all brothers. I think a lot of people have picked up on that now, but the three of us are brothers, and that's kind of one of the main points of the band is for us to get to tour together and to do music together, you know. And so uh, that usually surprises people when we tell them, like when we're at the show and stuff, and they meet us, and they're like, "Oh shit, you're actual brothers? Yeah, yeah, same mom and dad, brother."
Yeah, because it's gotten to the point to where like families are so broken that like when people are together, to like this is my brother from another mother, but and most of the time they've gotten to the point where they don't say that, they just go, "You're my brother." Like I have a lot of like bands that live around the Ohio area, and we basically call each other family, and we call each other brothers, and so so yeah, I get where the shock comes from. It's like, oh, so it wasn't just a
Yeah,
cliche. It's like this actual legit. It's like, all right, that's cool. And but yeah, so yeah, that is really cool. And
yeah, well,
congratulate
Salt Lake, man.
yeah, and congratulations on being able to turn your life around with the drugs and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
yeah. That's you know, especially because you have a family and everything, me being a father personally, and my mental health was my issue that kind of held me back, from like being like the best father I could be starting out. But I ended up turning it around, and me and my kids get along for the most part. I just found out that my youngest has autism, so I'm trying to work rebuild me and his relationship. Um,
Yeah, how old is he?
he is about to be 16 in a couple of weeks. He's got less than a month. He'll be 16, and we just found out last year. So for the most part, my kids are pretty good. They're kids. They're like my 21-year-old. He has some parts where he's mature, and then he still has those parts where it's like, oh my God, he takes me back to my early 20s and stuff that I'm having to learn because I'm too stubborn to like listen. It's like, my God, it's like I need you not to be me right now. It's
Yeah,
like I wish I hadn't passed that on to you. But um
that's the cycle, man. That fucking it happens. The kids
oh
just do, man. You gotta live it to learn it, and even with the kids that are autistic or have disabilities or whatever, the thing is, you just gotta love them, man. They'll fucking love you back, and everybody's got to figure out their own life. So it's hard looking at them as your own kid, but at that age, you kind of become just the guy that gives advice, gives direction, that life advice. You know what I mean? When you start being that, you're gonna do what I say, Dad. That they
oh no
that shit don't work. Once they
no
hit like 15, 17, that shit is like
yeah
ah.
yeah
I don't
yeah
think listen to me anymore. I
yeah
got a 16-year-old and she's a sweetheart. She's just like me, super smart, doing good, hanging out, being a teenager, but it's just she's mature enough now that I don't have to be the dad that's like, you're gonna do what I say and I'm gonna make you and like all that shit, you know what I mean?
oh
She's
no
just love her.
yeah, I told my daughter when she turned 18, and her mother couldn't stand in her way to come and live with me. I told her when she came down, I said, "Don't do as I say because your dad. Do as I say because eventually I'm not going to be here to help you out." And once me and her went through all. once me and her went through all the growing pains of her figuring out that I wasn't just telling her stuff because I was her parent. I was telling her stuff because I was trying to warn her, and she started seeing stuff play out. She's like, "Holy crap! You, you, you told me that this stuff was gonna happen, and it happened." I'm like, "Yeah, funny how that worked out, huh?"
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, and that helped her more and more understand, where I'm coming from. Now, of course, she's her dad. She's gonna be a little stubborn, and it's like that's cool. But like I tell her, I'm like, okay, I'm like, you sure you want to go that way? All right, see you in a minute. Mm.
Yeah,
And then
that's yeah,
it comes back around. So
yeah,
and so yep, still right. It's but come on, let's fix this. And because
yeah. It's
I
crazy. It's the same shit I was doing when I was 17. I wasn't listening to nobody. I was fucking 17. I fucking knew everything. I was smart. I knew what the fuck I was doing. Nobody could tell me what to do. Like, at least my daughter is actually smart. Instead of just pretend smart.
yeah, I got my 21-year-old son. He's up in Illinois finding out the stuff I tried to tell him as a teenager in terms of like how to navigate the land. He's finding out the hard way, and he kind of needs me to help him with a little rent situation he's got going on. And like I told him, I was like, I tried to tell you that you got to cover your butt. Like, don't just common sense. Yes, common sense should be a thing. It's not. It's you have to assess it as you see it as you go along in life, whether it be at your job, whether it be the people that you deal with, whether it be like you're in college and these people that you're dealing with now, the hot mess where they don't communicate and you have to cover your butt and communicate with all of them. Welcome to adulthood. Remember, you wanted to be here. Congratulations. Here you go. And so he's starting to he's being of course he's being stubborn about it. He's my kid. But um but he's starting to catch on now that okay, all right, Dad, I will listen to you too. It's like
Do you guys share the same taste in music?
Not really. He doesn't share the taste of me or his mother. He likes some hip hop, but he's mostly country, which kind of shocked me and his mother. But which I do like country, but I have to admit I'm kind of bad about it. I respect Garth Brooks and them, but I'm mostly about is she hot? Um and I know that's bad. I know that's bad. That's absolutely horrible, but I just yeah, it's like dude, she's hot. I'm all about it. Carrie Underwood, been about her since American Idol.
Same.
But 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 yeah, man. But yeah, I listen to all levels of music. My mom, that's one of the few good things I got from my parents. My dad he used to listen to jazz and he used to listen to Parliament, People Bryson, the Gap Band, um, LTD, and people like that. My mom listened to basically everybody Motown, uh, Phil Collins, Duran Duran, Tears for Fears. Uh, you know what? I can't think of any. Actually, you know what? I think she did listen to some country. I can't remember who, but I'm pretty sure she did. But so yeah, um, it was uh, it was fun just having that experience, especially when I stopped because I ended up in foster homes and stuff, and I was living in Detroit and stuff, and I was kind of being controlled as to what I specifically listened to. And then eventually, as I got older, it got to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm my own person. I actually do like this other stuff, which cost me my card to an extent, but by then I was like, you know what? It is what it is. Um,
Yeah, you should like what you like, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And always be you and be 100% genuine. It's cost me some jobs and some job promotions. But at the end of the day, the one thing that the jobs always knew, they could count on me to do my job, and I was going to be 100% genuine, even if it got on their nerves. Um, how many kids do you have? Since we've totally gotten on this subject.
I got 3 kids.
Nice, nice, nice. I got four biologically. I just made a verbal agreement to readopt my one of my daughter's oldest sisters.
Been
Yeah,
living with.
yeah, yeah. Well, the one I just verbally adopted, she's still up in Michigan with my ex. Well, she doesn't live with her. She's actually on her own with her own set of kids, and she needs that parent that's gonna be real with her and that she can always come to and talk to and know that they're gonna tell her right and be willing to listen to her. And so, and I've gotten really good at that. I can thank my grandfather for that because he was really good at when I was younger and I was just at my most rebellious. He could always talk to me and get me to just talk and not hear what he's saying, like try to get angry and rebel against him and feel like he wasn't listening to me. It was just something about the way he listened. He would listen to what I said and directly address what I said, but then show me but like, I see what you're saying. You're saying this, but this is he taught me how to like look at the bigger picture of things and understand that how I feel is a part of that picture. But you got to see the rest of it, which is where the adults may be trying to come from, even though y'all may not be on the same wavelength so that y'all can be on one accord and it's actually a learning experience instead of a arguing experience like a lot of parents and kids have. So
Yeah,
I feel like the parent that I've become today was a lot had a lot to do with him, and he just died a couple years ago, and but he was the one that no matter what, no matter how from a mental health standpoint how bad I was, he was always willing to give me a listening ear and be able to help me through. And that from a blood standpoint, he's probably the most valuable family member to me, which makes it unfortunate that he's gone. So, but
yeah.
um,
Well, those
but
old folks knew what the fuck they was talking about, man. They've been through some shit,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
my
yeah. And
too, but they grew through some shit. My grandparents grew up, went over the World War II, so they
oh
had they had some stories and some shit and some good advice, you know. And sometimes teenagers don't want to listen to that, but sometimes you need to hear that shit when you're younger, you know. You grow up a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah. All this talk about well, that was a different time. You're missing the point. The point, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It was a different time, but the story is the same. The details are only different because of the fact that it's a different year. Um, and
Yeah, the point is the
you're
same.
you, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're you, and that was them. You're you in the year. That's about as different as it gets. So, and maybe the details of the story because you're you and it's a different year might have a little difference to it, but you can look at both stories and go they're primarily the same situation, and so it should be addressed, not necessarily with change with the times but still have a set mandate of this is the line. That's what I think. But a lot of people don't like to agree with that, but yet they can't figure out why the world is in chaos. So,
Yeah. There's a lot of life lessons from the old generation that make things a lot easier, but people
so
don't want to back there.
yeah. So I see you rocking the head PE. So I mean, out of all the bands that you've toured with, have you toured with them the most? Is that why you're rocking the shirt, or what's behind that?
Um, Probably. I think we probably done more shows with them than anybody. Twisted would probably be next. We've done about 80 shows with Twisted.
Nice. They're
Oh,
supposed. they're supposed to be coming on the 30th to Bogarts. I'm hoping to make that show and hoping to get a meet and greet with it, but responsibilities, right? Responsibilities first. So,
Big one too. They're doing their Green Book tour, and Head P's out on tour with Nonpoint and Dropout Kings, which Nonpoint is another big influence on mine,
yeah,
and
I love
Elias.
them. Yeah, I love them. They're so cool, especially when I did Seven Dust and them down in New Orleans, and basically got a free meet and greet because the bus was out front, and they were more than willing to hang out before and after the show, and it was a great time. They're totally cool dudes. I hope to be interviewing them soon. And I hope to be checking out. I'm gonna try to see if they have a city near me. I might I might take another road trip to see all of them together. Because it's been a while since I've seen Dropout Kings too. And you're right, those guys are like they're totally cool.
Yeah, yeah. Nonpoint is ridiculous, and Seven Dust too. I mean, I found Nonpoint, Boba Flex, Kindred, Head PE. Like I found those bands going to see Seven Dust. Like we found Kindred, which is like my favorite band. Kindred, I don't know if you know who that is, but Benji.
No, I'll have to check them out.
Benji, they're from the UK. Benji's this Rasta reggae metal type band, and it's totally my shit. I found them opening for Seven Dust, so Seven Dust has been a big influence on me too, and their show is just out of control. I fucking love them.
I gotcha. So, what do you think about the state of music right now? Is it all negative? Are there some positives? What do you think?
Um, I think it's a little bit of both. There's definitely a lot of negativity in the business, a lot of hangover from old shit that they used to do from the 90s and 2000s, and the record labels still have so much money and so much control over things that um that's not that's not a positive thing. But the ability for artists like me and other artists like other bands that are at my level that are doing what I'm doing, just the quality of music like Dead Eyes and uh, Dropout Kings and Redefined and Lilac and all these bands that are able to go into a studio and get seriously like really good quality sounding stuff and then be able to go on tour if they want to um is a positive thing. But the downside to that is that there just becomes so many bands out there that it's hard to really sift through and find those ones that you want to find. And all of these playlists and everything that are on Spotify and stuff are all record label controlled, you know what I mean? And they still have the control over all of those things, which I think is a negative thing. Because back in the day, it like went from the 80s where you could get discovered on radio. They like if you were good, they would play you and they would help you out. And now if you're a band, they want you to make it before they sign you. They want you to do all of this work and then come in and be like, oh, well, we're going to help you now. Well, where the fuck were you at 3 years ago, motherfucker, when I put my album out? It's paying for all of this, you know? And so things are different, but you kind of just have to take things as they are, whether they're good or bad or not. Like, this is what it is. And you have to kind of navigate through that the best that you can with what you got. And so if you take that attitude, I'm kind of happy with the way things are. The underground music scene is a lot of fun. I have the ability to make a really good album and then put it out and know that it's a good representation of what we are and what we do and who we want to be and how we want to present ourselves. And so I'm happy with that. I think that overall things are pretty good.
I gotcha. Well, I believe that do you guys have a tour coming up soon? Is my last question, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah. Please. have a national tour starting April 12th on all my social media on Facebook and Instagram, uh, TikTok and YouTube and everything. All the tour dates. We put up the tour dates last week. But we're going out on ourselves so we can go to all these venues across the country and play with a bunch of local bands and meet local artists and meet the club owners and go and have a good time with everybody. So I think it's going to be really good. We're going to be gone for about 5 weeks until the end of May, and our last show of the tour is the North Idaho Music Festival up in State Line, Idaho, and it's a 2-day festival, and we're direct support for the headline on Saturday night, May 18th.
All right. I lied. Last question, real quick. Does that ever become an issue, like with your kids? Has that ever been an issue since you started touring?
Just me being gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, obviously, like when I get done playing, I get off stage, I want to go hang out with kids, but I can't, you know, and they want to hang out with me. And so we do a lot of video chats and stuff like that. And
Oh, okay.
they kind of know what I do, and I'm going on a road trip to do the music, and I'll be back in a couple weeks, and it's going okay. They take it pretty well.
I gotcha. Well, I thank you for your time and the opportunity, and uh I will be seeing you. That is our time. I'm Dante Suave. This is Andrew W. Boss, Symphony of Disorder. Out till next time. Peace.
You're kidding me! Back again, made a gamble with my life, now I have to win. Behind the bars, still trapped again. Watch the love between us grow into wrath again. I said forever and I meant it, but I knew you lied. You buried me without a prayer, but you know I won't die. Back from the dead, arise when you hear this. Every soul in a place get up. Let out the red, arise when you hear this. Let the anger give up. Back from the dead, arise when you hear this. Every soul in a place get up. Let out the red, arise when you hear this. Every soul in a place get up. Wrapped around my neck. You struggle me with the lies that you say. Your love, it's killing me. You're killing me with the lies that you say. It used to be a hand that would aim to hold, but now they're wrapped around my neck in a stranglehold. But the pain is gold. With a pair like us, it's insane to fold. All in for life, this love ain't right, but that's alright with me. You're still my wife, so turn the knife if just so I can bleed. Back from the dead, arise when you hear this. Every soul in a place get up. Let out the red, arise when you hear this. Let the anger give up. Back from the dead, arise when you hear this. Every soul in a place get up. Let out the red, arise when you hear this. Every soul in a place get up. Everything I have, everything you need, maybe what you want.